everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well. Today's tutorial is on this look. I was really inspired by the summer, by weddings in the summer. You could use this as a bride look. You could be a guest at a wedding and this still would be appropriate. You can certainly not use lashes. I went really dramatic with the lashes for this look, but anything is customizable to your liking and to your taste. So if you want to see how I created this look, keep watching. I've already gone ahead and moisturized. I put my eye cream on. You really want to make sure you do that step at least 10 to 15 minutes before you put your makeup on. You just want it to penetrate the skin as much as possible, and then that will avoid your foundation from slipping and sliding. Also, you want to make sure to put a lip moisturizer on. I'm actually going to use the Bite Beauty Agave Lip Mask. I do this step before I put any makeup on. Normally you use a finishing spray when your makeup is all complete. However, I also like to spray my face before I apply my makeup on. That just allows a little bit more locking in of that product, kind of acts a little bit like a primer. You can use any facial spray. I'm using the Skindinivia, the makeup finishing spray, and this is for bridal wear. Next is primer. Now this is going to depend on your skin type. If you are dry, you can use a hydrating primer. If you have a normal skin type and just have enlarged pores, you can use a pore filler type primer. I am a normal to oily skin type, so I like to use something in my T-zone where I get my oil, and I'm just going to use a shine control primer. This is actually from Neutrogena. I really like this. I've been using it for a while. So I'm just going to apply this in my T-zone only where I have the oil. If you have an oily skin type, you would want to just use an oil-free primer, some shine control all over the face where you get the most oily. If you have any hyperpigmentation, you can certainly use a primer that will help with that. What I like to use is my e.l.f. Cosmetics Bye Bye Redness. This is a neutralizing correcting cream. I love this stuff. It is, I wouldn't say too thick, but it is heavy. So what I like to do is I mix it with my L'Oreal Magic Lumi, and this kind of acts as a second primer to cancel out any redness, to illuminate my skin before I put my foundation on. I really don't want to use a lot of foundation, so I'm using things beforehand to kind of allow a lighter coverage of foundation. I'm just going to apply this with my fingers. My nose really gets the most red around my nose too. You can completely skip this step if you have a very even skin tone. I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyelids using my Max Painterly in Paint Pot, and that's just going to cancel out any of those veins or discoloration, just using a very light layer of that. This stuff has very good coverage. Onto foundation. Now you can use any foundation that you find wears really well on your skin. Some really popular ones is the Makeup Forever HD foundation. I feel like I hear that all the time for weddings. The one I'm using today is the MAC Studio Face and Body Foundation. I chose this one because it doesn't have any SPF in it, so that's a plus. It also is sweat-proof, waterproof, so it's really gonna hold up to a hot summer wedding. I hate feeling like I have a lot of heavy foundation on in the summertime. So whether you're a guest or you're the bride, you really want to be comfortable in what you're wearing. You don't want something that's going to make you feel itchy. So I chose this one, and this is not very high coverage, but it is buildable. So I'm just giving it a good shake to get my extra coverage and to actually match me, because I know the lights are kind of washing me out, but I am a little darker on my body than I am my face. So I'm actually using my Cover FX Custom Drops. This will give more coverage to the face and body, and it will darken it a little bit to match me. And just for a reference too, I'm in N1, even though it is a little light for me right now, but normally that's my color. Now that my hand feels like it's gonna fall off, I know I'm done blending and everything is looking really, really flawless. So I'm really happy with my base. Now I want this look, because it's a summer look, to be really glowy, really luminescent. So I'm gonna be using the L'Oreal True Match Lumi. This is the Liquid Glow Illuminator in the color Rose. Now this for me is way too dark to be putting all over my face, but I like to use it on a little stipple brush as almost like a base to my blush. I do want to go ahead and brighten a little bit under my eyes. I'm going to grab my Master Conceal. This is in the color Light. I'm going to be adding layers, small layers, and build it up, because you don't want to put too much product on too thick. You want to really use a light layer and blend into the skin. Taking it up here because I want to make sure my eyes look really bright and open. If you need to do any pinpoint concealing, you can do that as well. If you have any blemishes or other areas, I'm going to go ahead and use MAC's Cream Color Base in Shell. This is a beautiful pale pink highlight shade, and it's a cream base. So I'm going to just put that all over my eyelid. I want my eyes to have that wet, glowy feel. And you always want to make sure you're using your cream products first. So I am going to go in with some powder products. So I want to get this base down. I'm going to go ahead and set my under eye in any area where I want to have that additional shine control, where I don't want to be dewy, I want to be a little bit more matte. So for me, I'm going to be using the Neutrogena Shine Control powder. I like to use a small brush because you can just kind of focus it in the areas you want. So I don't want to get shiny in this area right here. So I'm powdering around my nose. That's also going to help the makeup stay better in that area. I want my eyes to be really bright open, but I do want some definition in my crease. So I'm going to grab my e.l.f. Mad for Matte palette, and I'm going to use this tan shade right here. And I'm just going to be putting that in the crease really lightly. And grab a Wet n Wild palette, actually. It's the Comfort Zone palette. I love this palette. It is so gorgeous, and these are really good quality for the few dollars that it is. I'm going to grab this pinky gold shade right here for the eyelid, just using that same brush. Just going to put this all over, not going to the inner corner, just in the middle of my eye, blending out. I'm grabbing another e.l.f. palette, the Need It Nude palette. I want to use this champagne color right there. And I'm going to put that just in the center. I want to brighten the inner corner, so I'm just going to grab this matte white shade. I'm going to go ahead and tightline using the Urban Decay 24/7 Black Velvet. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes. I don't normally like to wear waterproof mascara, but if it's a hot day, if you're going to be crying, you want to grab a waterproof mascara. This is the LashBlast Volume from Covergirl, and I'm just going to apply a coat of that. I am using fake lashes, but we just want to get a good coat. I'm using the Ardell Demi Wispies. I love these ones. Grab my Duo glue. It's in the dark tone one. I'm going to go ahead and apply my glue. Now that we have our lashes on, I'm going to go ahead and do a little eyeliner to cover up the band here and just kind of connect everything. Using the NYC Liquid Eyeliner And I'm using a brush, a very fine brush to apply this. I'm not using the applicator. We've gone ahead and lined our band for our lashes. Again, you don't have to use these lashes. These are a little extreme, but we're going with it. Now I really need to do my brows. I'm going to go ahead and grab my NYX micro pencil. You want to make sure whatever you're doing for your brows is not going to budge. I do really recommend the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade. It's completely waterproof. I'm using the NYX micro pencil because it's never run on me, so I know this works for me, but use what works for you. You don't have to do this step, then you're very lucky, but I really need to frame my face. I'm going to grab a small precise brush and go back to that highlight color here in this palette and just brighten up the inner corner here. I'm going to use the NYX Wonder Pencil to brighten my waterline. And then you can go ahead and finish with the bottom lashes. I'm going to go ahead and grab my Becca Beach tint in, what color is this? Guava. I'm just going to apply it with my stipple brush, the same one we used for that illuminator. These Becca tints are waterproof or water resistant, and they smell so good. You can use them on the lips too. I'm not gonna go ahead and contour and go really defined because while that looks good in photography, you really want it to look good in real life as well. And those harsh contours just don't. So that's just, again, my personal preference, but I'm gonna grab my Sugar Tropic Tan bronzer and my little kabuki brush. And I'm just gonna warm up Now for my favorite part, no surprise, it's the highlighter. I'm using Pinktastic from e.l.f. So we're gonna go ahead and hit the high points. Really want to be glowy. And my Cupid's bow. Now for my lips, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Lilac in the color Choco Black. I think that's how you say it. I just want to put this all over my lips because it's pretty much the same lip color as my natural lips, so I just want to define them. And you can really just leave it like this and that would be an awesome color, very mauve-y lip, but I do want something a little brighter. And so I'm just gonna blot most of that off. Kind of just acts as a stain. And then I'm gonna grab the NYX Mega Shine Lip Gloss in Tea Rose. As a bride, I don't necessarily recommend a high shine lip gloss that's going to reflect light on your lips when you are taking your photos. However, for a guest, you can certainly do whatever you want. This, although it is Mega Shine, it doesn't have that super high gloss look to it, which is why I love these glosses. They're one of my favorites. And the very last step is, of course, to set everything. I'm gonna grab the same product we used before, the Skindinivia makeup finishing spray, the bridal one. We're just gonna spray ourselves down. And that was our completed look. I hope you liked it. I think it is so perfect for a wedding or some sort of elegant occasion that you may have in the summertime. Rose golds and pinks and champagne colors really scream summer to me. It's just a different take on doing something a little darker or red lip. I just love how this looks. I think any skin tone can pull this off, and I hope you liked it as well. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, you know where that button lives. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!